Good morning, I'm Nathan Allen with York Lake, part of York Region's economic strategy team. And we're flipping the script a bit here. I'm actually going to interview Marc Saltzman, who's been our host this week at Collision. Marc, welcome and thank you for all the work you've done this week.
Oh, thank you, Nathan. Yeah, it's fun to be interviewed instead of me doing all the interview, but I've had a blast interviewing maybe 35 people so far. It's been a lot of fun, and so many innovative startups that are here on behalf of York Region or have some affiliation with the region, like an incubator or what have you, but yeah.
And besides doing interviews for us, I know you're usually down at CES. You were over in France at the VivaTech conference. What sort of trends are you seeing in tech these days?
Yeah. Without question, AI. You know, it's really as big as many are predicting, and I think it's going to really change virtually every industry. Yeah, it started obviously in November of 2022. Not started, but really took off with OpenAI's ChatGPT, and then followed quickly by the Microsoft investment and integrating it into Copilot, Google Gemini, and so many other platforms, and seeing how by feeding your own data sets into it, you can kind of make it your own. So I really think AI is as big and in some cases as scary as some are seeing. Just because there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors sometimes, but at the end of the day, this is significant technology that can really help out a lot of businesses, I think.
Actually, I was listening to a speech, I think you mentioned it, something about Watson. Actually, you mentioned it in the IBM Canada interview, where I know with the automation and stuff, people are concerned that AI and everything is going to take our jobs, but there was a stat around that. Maybe you can relay that one again about it actually creates more jobs than it takes away.
Yeah, naturally. So look, there is a fear that AI or automation as a whole is going to replace jobs, and to some degree it will happen, but I don't think it's going to be like a switch where all of a sudden someone's going to write articles better than I can, and I know AI can write articles really well. But yeah, I mean for the stat, I'm going to paraphrase it, but the head of IBM's Watson department, of course their AI division, said that for every job that automation replaces, whether it's robotics, artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, the industry will create 3 to 4 net new jobs. Just different jobs, right? So obviously a lot more focusing on engineering and coding, testing, but marketing, things that AI doesn't do as well. Or AI can help with coding, of course, but there's a lot of opportunity. It's just like when the car replaced the horse and buggy. Think of how massive the automotive industry is, right? And all the ancillary jobs tied to vehicles, right? So the same thing is going to happen. So don't fear it. There are other concerns about AI as well. Taking over the world. I don't think we're going to see anything like Skynet or anything like that anytime soon, or HAL from 2001: Space Odyssey. And there's concerns about the carbon footprint of these massive data centers operating and what's that doing to the environment and all that, but we'll figure all of this out, no doubt. As we always do when there's new technology, there's a bit of panic. Of course, when it's your livelihood, you're going to panic, but then the dust settles, and then we just find a way to stay relevant.
That's excellent. It's a great insight there. Now I'm going to steal one. Thank you for helping us out all week, so appreciate that. I'm going to steal a line from Hot Ones. Either look into that camera or that camera and tell us what you got going on these days.
Oh gosh, thank you. Yeah, well, I'll stick to the camera on sticks, on the tripod, as we say. So yeah, no, I'm very fortunate. I've got a new book coming out. It's Apple Vision Pro for Dummies. So it's another one of those dummies books. This time focusing on Apple's spatial computer, or mixed reality headset, that's coming to Canada in July. It's been out in the US for a few months. I think there's a lot of excitement around it. It's the price for this device is a little cost prohibitive, let's say, but I think over time it will, it'll come down. So I'm working on that. My TV show in the US called Tech Impact is doing well. It's on Bloomberg Television and Fox Business. I often shoot it from York Region, which is interesting, instead of going down to Miami, to where our set is formally. And yeah, I'm still writing for Reader's Digest, USA Today, AARP, Costco Connection Magazine, Post Media. So a lot going on. And then finally my podcast, Tech It Out, which is growing significantly. I'm very happy about that. So I'm busy. I do it all from my home in Thornhill primarily. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun 30-year ride. It's 1994 is when I wrote my first computer game review.
You definitely have a lot going on. You're a great ambassador for York Region, so thanks again for joining us today, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks so much, Nathan. Thanks, everybody.